Welcome to Mini-mix Memoirs, where I rehash how I fell in love with my favorite musicians, with the goal of helping you learn about music that may be new to you, even if the artist isn't. I'm James Easdale. In this episode, we're discussing Will Oldham, aka Bonnie Prince Billy. Always desperate for new music, one weekend in 2004, I decided to take a look through all the albums Pitchfork had given a perfect 10. This is something I'd done before, with mixed results. I'm looking at you, and you will know us by the trail of the dead. Bonnie Prince Billy's 1999 album, I See a Darkness, was on that list. Among other albums on the list, the artwork by Will's mom, Joanne, stood out. I'm sure reading the actual review further whet my appetite. I can't quite recall. I do know I went right out and bought the album on CD and gave it a listen. The sound felt new to me. It wasn't rock. It wasn't country. It wasn't even Americana. Perhaps genre isn't important anyway. Perhaps the quality of the lyrics, combined with the minimalism and simplicity of the arrangements, struck me. I recall loving each track, and for different reasons. I loved that the music didn't sound particularly experimental, and that it could still be exciting. His vocals, while hinting at range beyond what the songs required, captured the confessional melancholy of the songs. From A Minor Place to Raining in Darling, I was in love. The album remains in my regular rotation 20 years later. Maybe you've heard that album and loved it, or didn't, but didn't dive into his discography further. I dove deep, really deep, into all of Will's releases and found many treasures. Before we get into those, some fun facts about Will Oldham. He trained as an actor and appeared in a John Sayles film, Matawan, in the 80s. He once co-starred with Zach Galifianakis in a Kanye West music video. You Can't Tell Me Nothing. It is worth a watch. He continues occasional work as an actor, most recently appearing in the Austin Butler movie The Bike Riders, 2023. Johnny Cash covered his song I See a Darkness on his album American 3, Solitary Man. And he was used as a model for a statue memorializing his ancestor, the founder of Oldham County, Kentucky. I started my back catalog dive with a couple solid records. Joya, recorded under his actual name, Will Oldham, and Sings Greatest Palace Music, recorded under his most common moniker, Bonnie Prince Billy. I enjoyed both, but knew there was more to discover in his catalog. Before I bought more of his older albums, I learned a new one was coming out. Superwolf, 2005, recorded with Matt Sweeney from Gomez and Swan. The album had a completely different musical feel from I See a Darkness, leaning towards 90s acoustic alternative with a folk influence. More great lyrics and even better vocals, combined with Sweeney's distinctive finger-picked guitar, immediately put the album on par with I See a Darkness. Another great work. Still, as always, I needed more. Sparing you stories for each, some of my favorite Bonnie Prince Billy albums are Wolfroy Goes to Town, 2011, Viva Last Blues, recorded under his Palace Music moniker, 1995, I Made a Place, 2019, Ease Down the Road, 2001, Superwolves, also recorded with Matt Sweeney and released in 2021. Before I get into specific song recommendations, let's talk a little bit about Superwolves. Released in 2021 as a sequel to Superwolf, when I originally heard about the project, I was intrigued but kept my expectations low. Associating it with an album as strong as Superwolf seemingly could have raised expectations to a point they could not be met. Bonnie Prince Billy and Matt Sweeney worked on the project for years, Will working on the lyrics and Sweeney on the music. Once the album came out, it was an instant classic for me as well. There is not a weak track, and the album includes some of Bonnie Prince Billy's best songs. God is Waiting, for instance, might be his best song. A gorgeous finger-picked guitar part blends perfectly with some of Will's best singing, all while presenting a heartbreaking analogy of Will's mom's battle with Alzheimer's. Recently, Will Oldham was on the WTF podcast with Mark Maron. Towards the end of their discussion, Mark invited Will to provide an entry point to new fans. Will himself recommended Superwolves and suggested it was better than Superwolf. Taking nothing away from Superwolf, I have to say I agree. Somehow, him and Matt Sweeney outdid their own classic. Here are some essential tracks. Note, very little of Will's work is on Spotify, so I will link to an Amazon playlist with these tracks. As a final note, I'd also like to recommend Bonnie Prince Billy's most recent album, The Purple Bird, released in 2025. His songcraft continues to expand, and on this album, he's backed by Nashville studio musicians. The Water's Fine is my favorite track from the album currently. With time, who knows? The album may rank among my favorites. With a career spanning more than 30 years, if you dive in, you're sure to be rewarded. Thank you for listening to Mini-mix Memoirs. Please like and subscribe for more. Thank you.